Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And this is a GM4L60 automatic transmission. In this video, along with my friends Sam and Kid, we will show you how to remove the gears or clutch packs of the input drum. For this process, you're going to use these tools, which are a pry bar and a flathead screwdriver. The first step is to remove the front pump of the transmission, in which it can be unbolted with the right measurement socket that it's needed to remove the bolts. Then you're going to use a pry bar to get below a hole of the transmission, which it makes it easier to pull out the front pump because it's difficult doing it with both hands. Bear in mind that there is going to be a bend in this transmission. It's not shown in this demonstration, but keep in mind, there is going to be a bend that holds the drum and the input drum in place inside of the transmission. Once the front pump is separated from the drums of the transmission, you're going to get the top drum and separate it from the input drum. After that, you're going to come over to a table that has a vise and perfectly place that input drum, so it could hold it perfectly placed and doesn't fall on you when you're removing the gears that are inside of the drum. By gears, I mean the clutch packs. The first step to do that is to remove the snap ring and to select the pressure plate that's holding those clutch packs down. Make sure you find the perfect spot to get it out with the flathead screwdriver. Once the snap ring and the pressure plate are off, you're going to go ahead and remove the 3 to 4 clutch, friction, and steel plates. Also, be very cautious when removing these clutch, friction, and steel plates. Sometimes it can be very confusing when you just spread them out all over the place. It's best suggested for you to tape them together once everything is out, or start recording a video or take pictures as to what was the exact order. And also remove the 5 boost spring assemblies that are in the drum. Next step is to remove the 3 to 4 clutch apply plate. Side note, depending on what model you're working on, there may be a single or double apply plate. The next step is to remove the forward clutch snap ring and pressure plate. Just to let you know in advance, that snap ring is going to be very difficult to get out, so be very cautious with the screwdriver because you do not want to mess up the inside of that drum. Once that plate and ring are out, the next step is to remove the forward sprag assembly, and also remove the thrust bearing and loop seal from the input drum. This following step has 2 different methods that you can do them either way. You can either get the drum out of the vise, flip it over, and bang it on the table until the overrun and forward clutch assemblies are out, or you can just simply get them out by hand. But remember the order and where they go. Otherwise, it will be pretty difficult or confusing when gathering them up together. Now, these are all the parts that you have taken out of that input drum. Well, almost all of them, because the piston that's inside of the drum is still there. What's shown is the forward sprag assembly along with the snap ring and the pressure plate. On screen right now, it's the forward and overrun clutch packs. They may look similar to the 3 to 4 clutch packs from earlier, but in terms of size, they're really not the same. If you're going to put all of those parts back into their original places, like I always said in this video, and they have to be in the same order. It can't be mixed up and none of them can be missing. Because remember the purpose about the clutch packs, that with the piston that's inside of the drum, they can be squeezed and be able to lock up and turn as one gear together. Or in other words, they will turn as to one pack depending on what gear that is going to be driven in. Doesn't matter if it's first, second, third, fourth, or however many gears your vehicle has, or the vehicle that you're working on has. If for some reason you forget to include one part, which is either a ring, a steel plate, or a friction plate or steel plate being flipped the way that they're not supposed to be in, things can go really wrong if you completely assemble the transmission the way that it was. By bad, I mean it could get worn up really quick, or you're gonna start hearing noises in the transmission, or it's not gonna shift properly. Or potentially, you might wanna replace the entire unit completely. And translating this, if you're doing this by yourself with your own car, congratulations, you played yourself. And if you're doing this for a customer, whether locally in your neighborhood or a shop, they're gonna get a free transmission, and your workplace is gonna catch a case. You're not getting the case, so you don't have to do the race, but your job gets sacrificed, and it goes Thanos snap. Like I said earlier, it's best suggested for you to start taking pictures, look up the manual procedures on how to disassemble and assemble a transmission of a certain unit from a certain manufacturer or certain car company, or record an entire video, or even listen carefully to this video. And that's gonna be it. I hope that helped you out, or at least understood. Shout out to Kid and Sam for helping me out and making this video, and have a nice day or evening.